Hello, folks. Dustin Zarni here, Democratic Elections Commissioner for Onondaga County, and welcome to Commissioner in a Car. This week, we'll be talking about the Town of Lysander special election. That's coming up next Monday, a week from today on June 9th, and I wanted to preview it here in Commissioner in a Car. So, this is not something that normally happens. That's why it's called a special election. In fact, in my time here as Democratic Commissioner the last 12 years, I only remember one other special election in Onondaga County of a similar size and similar scope, and that was for the town of DeWitt had one, and they both had a similar reason for having a special election. So what is a special election? Well, a special election can be called by a town or village board to hold an election when they're not normally supposed to hold it, to answer a ballot question regarding, actually, there's been two others. There was the manliest one a few years back. I forgot about that. I don't know how I forgot about that, because that was a nutty one. But so it's either requested by citizens. There are certain types of resolutions that citizens can pass to mandate a special election to answer a question, or there are town resolutions that can be passed that usually to answer a special election. Although some towns and cities throughout New York State might have special elections to fill the vacancies of certain offices. In Onondaga County, we don't really have that. We have, usually when an office goes vacant, we don't have a special election. It just, you have an appointment till the end of the term or appointment till the end of the year, and then somebody takes over after that. So really the only time we have special elections is if there's a resolution or ballot question that needs to be answered by the voters. And that is usually done either through a permissive or mandatory referendum, and sometimes a petition that from the citizens to put something on the ballot directly. Where we've had this, where we've created a special election in my time here at the Board of Elections, is the town of DeWitt passed a resolution, and I believe it was 2013, 2014, one of my first years as commissioner, to eliminate the town clerk as an elected position and make it appointed. And then, of course, we had a couple of years ago in 23, the town of Manlius had a resolution that was put on the ballot via petition from the Manlius GOP to divide up Manlius into individual districts that instead of townwide election of their town board. Both of those resolutions failed. That doesn't mean what's happening in Lysander is going to go that way. But just putting it out there, both of those resolutions failed. So the town of Lysander is also having a resolution to remove the highway superintendent as an elected official and make it appointed by the board or supervisor. And so that's similar to what happened with DeWitt and the town clerk about, over a dozen years ago now. There are some things with special elections that are very important. Now, just because I'm covering this on my podcast, which I'm doing, on my own time and for my own, for your knowledge and also my own edification, but really, to get information out there, doesn't mean that this is a function of the Onondaga County Board of Elections. Not just this podcast, but the Town of Lysander special election. When special elections are called via town law, the Board of Elections has no role other than to be a vendor, in the sense of we provide them machines and access to our equipment, but we don't run the election. when a town calls a special election, or a special election is mandated by a referendum, it's up to the town clerk to run that election and to determine the rules of that election under town law. In the town of Lysander, they decided not to have any absentee balloting or vote by mail balloting, not to have any affidavit balloting, and to only have election day balloting, setting that election day for Monday, June 9th from noon to 9 p.m. They will have 2 polling places open, Beaver Lake Nature Center and the Town of Lysander Municipal Building. And both of those polling places will allow any voter in the Town of Lysander to vote at it. So you can go to either place, no matter where you live inside the Town of Lysander. You may remember Town of Manlius, they allowed for absentee balloting, but only had 1 polling place on election day. And, we're going to see how many people are turning up for this election. And again, it's up to the Town of Lysander to run it. So we have provided them the equipment. We have programmed it. We're providing them poll prints. We're providing them support. But it is the town clerk who is running this election and will count the votes and determine the winner of the resolution. If a yes passes, then the highway superintendent will no longer be an elected position, and there will be no candidacies for either any candidate on the highway superintendent at the end of this year. That is on the ballot for this general election. I think that's one of the reasons why they decided to hold a special election first and not just put it on the November ballot this year, because you would also have people running for that office, and then they would, if the special election passed, they would not have a term in office, but it would end that term. But I think they felt like allowing people to run for an office that might be eliminated by the voters is a little confusing for everyone. So they're holding this special election on June 9th to determine whether the highway superintendent will have a election this November for the next term of office for the highway superintendent. So it's an interesting election, and I'm, like most things, I don't take a part in it. I don't give I don't live in Lysander. It's not my responsibility, or I don't have an ability to vote on it, and I don't even count the votes this time. So we'll be there to support, but that's about it. So that's what's happening in the town of Lysander on June 9th. And it's one of 3 elections happening in the next 3 weeks here at the Onondaga County Board of Election, because on Monday, June 9th, we have an election. On Monday, June 14th, the start of early voting for the primary. On Tuesday, June 17th, we have the village election in North Syracuse, which is an interesting one as well, and we'll go into that in a couple weeks. The Monday before that election, I'll talk about that one. And then, of course, the June 24th big primary election day primary, which we've been talking about all along. So, that's really it for Commissioner Nakar this week. There's a lot of other things going on. We are also dealing with general and specific objections coming in on the independent nominating petitions that I covered last week. 4 general objections were filed on 4 different candidacies. One of them has turned into a specific objection just today. That's for 2nd District Common Council inside the city of Syracuse. We'll be looking at those over the weekend. We're going to be coming in because we're not going to take any time away from the elections that we're running. So we're going to do some time on that over the weekend to determine whether those specific objections are valid or not. And we expect more to come in. We'll see how many of those other general directions come in as well. So that's all we got. Going on, well, not all we got. That's a lot going on. June's a very busy month for us. We just posted our, if you need a vote by mail application for either North Syracuse or for the primary election, you can do so by requesting it at onvote.net. And that's all I got going on. We're still processing registrations and doing all of that as well. So it's very busy. We got a great team working down there, working really hard to make sure that this month goes as smooth as possible with all these different things going on. So recap, Town of Lysander special election, noon to 9, Monday. 2 polling places, Beaver Lake Nature Center and Lysander Municipal Building. Any voter in Lysander can vote at either of those two places. No absentees, no affidavits. And then, of course, early voting for June primary starts June 14th. North Syracuse Village election, noon to 9 on June 17th. And then the City of Syracuse Democratic election, OCL 8 Democratic election, Cicero, Elbridge, and Pompey Republican elections, primaries, and Elbridge Conservative primaries happening on June 24th. Thank you very much for tuning in to Commissioner and Carr, and enjoy your week. Go to dustinzarny.com to like and subscribe and get an email notification every time that I post content. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day. Bye-bye.